Hey guys, today's video is all about how to fix your deadlift. So, everybody deadlifts, but not everybody deadlifts well. And for every guy pulling 250 kilos with a flat back and synced up knee and hip extension, there are 100 other guys missing 150 kilos or throwing out their backs due to poor technique. By improving your deadlift mechanics, you'll not only be able to lift more weight, you'll be able to do it without risking injury. So here are 5 common problems deadlifters run into and how to fix them. Okay, problem number 1, can't get into a proper starting position. So the number 1 causes are hamstring tightness, back weakness, and poor proprioception. Okay, the solution here would be to do a Romanian deadlift to a deficit. So you've probably seen me do these with you guys. We've done them through muscle camp as well, where we place a plate underneath our feet and it just helps us to reach a little bit further. Okay, so we're not having to just stop, or we've got more room to basically go down as opposed to just our shins. It gives us a little bit more stretch to go a bit further. Alright, in order to deadlift properly, the first thing you need to learn is the proper starting position. So typically I look for 4 things. Number 1, hip width stance. Number 2, vertical shins. 3, bar over the middle of the foot. And number 4, a flat lower back. So many guys have troubles getting into position because of immobility, weakness, or a general lack of body awareness. So an easy way to correct this problem, regardless of the reason, is to reverse engineer a good starting position by doing a Romanian deadlift or a stiff-legged deadlift. RDLs allow us to work backwards with good form by starting at the top of the deadlift motion, and by doing them to a deficit, we develop mobility and stability beyond deadlift depth, which will make it easier to get into proper positioning when deadlifting from the floor. Okay, so while holding a barbell, you want to step onto your box or onto a step and assume a hip width stance, keeping your back flat. Bend forward at the waist while slightly bending the knees. Okay, I probably won't go into the entire technique of it. This is something that I can show you in person, but just to understand what's going to help in terms of that common problem, the RDL at a deficit is something that will help. The number 2 reason could be can't break the bar off the ground. Alright, so the cause could be a lack of starting strength and a low rate of force development. So the solution for that would be a speed deadlift from the floor. And our rep range, we're looking at 6 sets of 3 reps at 50% of your deadlift 1 rep max. So speed deadlifts are a favourite for improving bar speed off the floor and developing power. So learning to apply a lot of force to the ground in a short amount of time will not only help you get the bar moving faster, it will make you less likely that you'll get stuck halfway up. So you can do this at a deficit as well. Okay, so you can grab one of those steps that you see in pump class, or the ones that we do usually do a kettlebell calf raise on them. Okay, and just lighten the weight as well. So we're not going for a lot of weight. We're just going to make sure that we can go for speed comfortably with good technique. So number 3, your lower back rounds at the start of the lift. The number 1 cause for that is weak spinal erectors. The solution for it is good mornings. So I've done good mornings with most of you guys before, and our rep range is 4 to 5 sets, 4 to 6 reps. So not too many reps. So you probably want to load up that bar as well. Get anywhere between, if you're going to do it on the Smith machine, you might want to go between 12 and a half on each side up to 20 kilos. Okay, so deadlifting with a good technique requires a strong back capable of maintaining stiffness. Very important thing through your back when breaking the bar off the floor. So the best way to target the spinal erectors for improved deadlift technique is to perform good mornings, which require a lot of the back muscles to contract isometrically while bending at the waist. To build up the spinal erectors, pause for 2 seconds at the bottom portion of the good morning and show your chest to the wall. While keeping your hips from dropping, similar to the paused RDLs, from the previous example. After the 2 seconds pause, keep your lower back flat while driving your heels into the ground and returning back to the starting position. So this will help you get to feel how to set your back properly before initiating a deadlift from the floor. So it's all about that back contraction, guys, and I'm constantly preaching it, so it's really important. If you don't know how to perform a good morning, please come and see me and I will show you how to do it safely. The number 4 common mistake with deadlifting is forward weight shift when breaking the bar from the floor. So the number 1 causes would be glute weakness and quad dominance. The solution for this can be barbell hip thrusts can be one, crab walks could be another, and cable kickbacks could be another 2. So you do actually need the right equipment for those. So if you don't have the resistant bands or the cable cuffs, you can just grab a barbell, get on a bench, or do it from the floor and do some hip thrusts. You want to do 4 to 5 sets between 4 to 6 reps. So if you're having trouble keeping your weight back when initiating the deadlift, the cause is likely a lack of glute and hamstring strength. When your posterior chain strength isn't up to the par, you won't be able to extend your hips and knees simultaneously, and instead will raise your hips while transferring weight towards the front of your feet. So if you've noticed that you're not when you're going for the lift and your hips are raising and you tend to pull more with your back, then you know you simply have weak hammies, and it's something that you really need to work on. So when this happens, guys, the bar will also drift away from your shins, and that's an issue for your back too. So if you feel your weight moving towards your toes as you break the bar off the ground, perform barbell hip thrusts to build strength in your muscles, okay, and your glute muscles. So stronger glutes will enable you to sit back into the lift instead of lurching forward, and will allow more weight, allow you to lift more weight as well. So, okay, number 5. So you hit a sticking point and your lift stalls. So the number 1 cause for this would be position-specific weakness. The solution would be rack pulls. You'd be looking at 4 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 reps with 80 to 90% of your deadlift 1 RM. So sticking points during a lift where the barbell stops moving, resulting in a miss. So when deadlifting, common sticking point areas are the mid-shin, knee, or low thigh. So regardless of where your sticking point is, you can develop the ability to push through it by strengthening your muscles through your zone of weakness. So rack pulls allow us to set the bar at the point where the weakest, to specifically target that zone. So rack pulls is where we get the long supported arms on the rack machine, and we put those arms, we set them quite low. So we generally set them below the knee. And it's kind of like half a deadlift. It's what I kind of refer to it. So what this is suggesting is to find that point where you find it the hardest, set it to that point, and then you can perform your rack pull from that point there. So deadlift the bar from the pins, unlock out the lift at the top. But instead of lowering the bar back to the pins and starting from a dead stop again, simply touch the pins or the box and then explode right back up again. Starting from a dead standstill doesn't make much sense if we're trying to get through a sticking point, since the bar is already moving once we hit that point during a normal deadlift. By not coming to a complete stop, we're able to focus on improving rate of force development and bar speed through the sticking point rather than starting strength, which will keep the bar from decelerating in the weak zone. Okay, guys, so that pretty much covers the common reasons why people can't get or can't perform a deadlift properly. So deadlifts are by far, my personal opinion, the hardest exercise technique-wise to nail. Okay, so it's not a case of throwing anyone into a deadlift and hoping that you can lift it properly. You really do need to strengthen and isolate the back muscles. All that posterior chain needs to be strengthened properly before you can really deadlift the right way. So if you have any other questions on this, or if you feel like you might need some extra one-on-one sessions to basically build upon that and to get more of an idea of what it really takes to deadlift correctly, please drop me a message or text my phone, and yeah, let's get you working properly. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.